earnest, resulting from or showing sincere and intense conviction. It is quite literally the embodiment of sincerity. Sincerity is the key to every doorway. To truly connect with another, be sincere. And to seek the truth, be sincere. And to create something meaningful, be sincere. To experience life in its fullness, be sincere. Honesty is a function of oneself to be able to exist harmoniously within reality and its structure. The Latin root of the word honest is honestus, which is also the root for the words honor and honorable. Honesty is the quality or condition of being truthful and sincere and therefore worthy of honor. Because when we are honest, we are whole. And why is that? Well, we can start by taking a look at logocentrism, beginning with the word logos. It's a word of Greek origins that can't be translated directly, but whose meaning is heavily tied to logic, reason, and coherence. And we also see it referenced as the Word of God or the principle of divine reason and creative order. Logocentrism believes that there is an objective truth, that underneath all additional context, the core of life is made up of objective reality. It believes that the objective truth existed prior to and independently of language, meaning that before there was speech to describe the cosmos already existed, and language is a way for us to describe, express, and define the reality that already exists. It runs on the premise that there is an ultimate reality or truth that functions as the basis to all of our thoughts, words, and actions. This lens suggests that to be honest is to be in the correct time space. To be honest is to be functioning with reality. It is an energy of cooperation. This is the truth of our nature. Quite plainly, the whole of creation runs on a system that is the truth, because it is what's real. Whether or not we recognize or define it, it's there. Now, to even begin to know if you are sincere yourself, you must first determine where you stand in relationship to the truth. Truth is fact and revelation. It is the function of natural law. It is reality itself at its core, in its most accurate frame of perception. But let's get specific here for the sake of a linear understanding. Truth, that which is true or in accordance with fact or reality. I'd like you to imagine that you are an artist who claims to paint passionately and with integrity, who wants their work to become successful. So these are the claims. 1, you are an artist. 2, you want success. And 3, you are devoted to your own sense of passion and integrity. We can say all of these are truths, but in order to determine that, we need to first observe you, the subject, to see if you, in fact, behave as an artist, and to see if you, in fact, behave as an artist who is aiming for success, and to see if you, in fact, behave as an artist who is aiming for success while functioning from the basis of their own integrity and passion. Let's say you act as though you are an artist because you do spend time painting pretty consistently, but you don't show your work to anyone. So as it stands, your relationship to the threefold truth determined above is fractured, because even though you paint and you are an artist, you have not taken any action that would help your work gain success and recognition. Now let's say you are painting consistently and marketing your work. However, you find that you are now painting things that you believe will sell or get attention, instead of painting that which rises naturally out of your being through the function of your inner vision and passion. then your relationship to the truth above is still fractured, because even though you are an artist who is aiming at success, you are lacking in integrity. Now, let's say you are painting consistently from your natural impulses and passions, and you are sharing your work with your ideal audience, those who will relate to you and your art. Now you find yourself aligned and arrived at the truth. Now you can be certain of your sincerity and perform your work earnestly. But you might be asking yourself, how do I find that natural, passionate part of me which is earnest to create and move from? While we can more easily develop our skills, marketing strategies, and overall movements, sincerity is not something that can be learned from any outside source. It is not something that can be performed or taken on. It is something that already exists within each and every being, and all you need to do is access it. And by the way, please feel free to stretch my artist example to fit any other situation. For example, wanting to earnestly relate to another human being, or earnestly serve your family and community, or to earnestly build a business. Whatever we do, may we aim to do it with the conviction and sincerity of an earnest person, and not a person named Ernest at birth but then renamed Jack after being found in a luggage locker at Victoria Station, but then who takes on the fake name Ernest to create a false identity of a wealthy man in order to win the favor of a woman, which turns out to be a true identity after all, because it has been discovered that you were named Ernest all along and are born from the very wealth that you faked. What kind of lesson is that? No thank you, Oscar Wilde. We live in a world created to distract and deny you from yourself. This makes it so it can be confusing at times to really understand where we are coming from when we perform certain skills or actions, especially when we consider that our personal wounds, learned lenses, and attitudes often callous our own sincerity without our being aware. For example, in relationship building, one can earnestly want to love another, but with a wounded lens might be taking action that pushes others away rather than bringing them in closer. So it can be helpful to create a system by which you can check your own intentions to determine if you are in fact being earnest. If you are human, then you have wounds, flaws, misinterpretations, and all sorts of other things which could very well be informing your movements. If you are human, then you have potential in every direction at all times, meaning you have potential to lie, to tell the truth, to tell a half lie, half truth, all of it. So to arrive at the truth, we can use the system of a scientist, who, whenever they come up with any theory, must do their very best to disprove it. In other words, you'll want to take yourself into a process of self-doubt. Modern attitudes often preach about the importance of not doubting ourselves, but why shouldn't we? We are flawed, learning, expanding creatures. We only know anything new by doubting what is already known. Science once claimed atoms to be the smallest particle in existence. Now it claims that quarks are, in fact, the smallest particle in existence. And in 100 years' time, I'm sure we will have discovered something even smaller. Or maybe not, who really knows. So, I'm not going to lie to you though, the process of self-doubt is harrowing. It is quite literally baptism by fire. But for the sake of being earnest, a heart with purity of intention doesn't care about being right or having its current beliefs confirmed. It cares about what is real, what is true, and will gladly let the fires of absolute burn away anything false, even about itself. And it feels like death, because it is. It is the death of what is false. And if we build our identity and our vision of the world around falsities, then it becomes all the more painful when it has to burn away, because all you are left with is the bare bones of you. And you know it will take courage and sincerity to love yourself in that void and to rebuild yourself within a truer frame. And if you are willing to take on this task for the sake of being earnest, then you are a true hero, and what you are attempting is no small thing. Just be sure to keep your self-compassion handy while you go through the process of self-doubt, and forgive yourself of what you did not know or understand. And then celebrate yourself for your willingness to look straight into the eyes of the truth, to receive its vision and its fire. It is useful to assume the very best and worst about ourselves and our intentions. I'm not even kidding. Picture a devil and angel on each shoulder if you have to, and write out some questions that you want each of them to answer. For example, what do I have to lose? What am I trying to gain? Who loses if I gain? Who gains if I lose? How will I feel if I get what I want? And how will I feel if I don't get what I want? Am I proud of what I'm doing and who I'm being? Once you've had each of your potentials, the angel and the devil, answer each of these questions honestly, you can go through them to uncover any hidden motivations or fears. Then you will want to bring a real awareness to each potential motivation and fear to see where you are blocking your own sincerity. Another doorway to sincerity is to practice non-exaggeration and the art of not leaving anything out. Fernando Pessoa said, "To be great, be whole. Exclude nothing, exaggerate nothing." This simply means to meet life where it is from where you are, and to meet it exactly as it is, exactly as you are. And although it sounds simple, it is not so easy to tell when we are creating pockets of illusion to exist inside of. I like to say the devil is a comforting lie, but only when we can lift our own veils of self-protective delusion one by one, meeting the solidity of what is real and the inevitable pain that comes with it. Only then can we really truly claim to be cooperative with reality. It seems to me that sincerity is the intelligence of the body. When you get down to it, the body is made up entirely of earthly particles, minerals, and elements. The entire earth exists as a structure of reality that is true, real, and functions by a certain code, which makes trees grow their leaves in the spring and then shed them in autumn so that it can better contain its own inner resources solely within the trunk and roots in order to stay alive and healthy. And this is the code that makes it so certain animals migrate according to the Earth's magnetic field. And this is the code that grows human life inside and outside of the womb. Why body language experts can tell if someone is lying simply by observing the body. Sincerity is the intelligence of the body. It knows what the truth is because it is made from it. Its natural way is honesty, because it knows to be honest is to be within the most accurate frame of reality. Jordan Peterson said, "Attention teaches intellect." And he said this while describing how to know if you're being authentic or not. He said you will feel it in your body and suggested this exercise: to say something, anything, and to see how it feels in your body. If you are saying something that is absolutely true, then you will probably feel strong and secure. But if you are saying something that is false or incomplete, you will probably feel internally shaky, like you aren't standing on solid ground. In other words, whenever you claim anything, check in and see, does it make you feel strong or weak? Now, the more you build your house on the rock, so to speak, meaning you are functioning and building your life within the truth, the stronger you become and the easier these check-ins become as well. And once you've really connected to that earnest part of your heart, which is the most inclusive part of you, it becomes easier to locate it within yourself and to move from it by will. I'll tell you, it feels like surrender, and it feels like power and humility merging. It feels like a desire to love and to serve and to be well and to grow. And it feels as though you have the sun in your hands to open and shine on everything. Sincerity is a compass, a map, for all of us to become who we truly are. And that, dear friends, is the true importance of being earnest.